with the lovely, the fabulous, the fantastic, the foodie, Miss Melissa Santell.
Hi.
A dear friend, also just like an absolute boss. We don't even say boss babe anymore because it's obvious.
Yeah, we don't.
She's a babe.
We don't need to.
And a boss.
Likewise, you're making me blush.
Oh, and we have Walter on today, who just could not stay out of the podcast studio.
He truly could not help himself.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, when you're in your presence, it's very hard to not want to be separated.
He actually doesn't love me at all, so the fact he's in here is miraculous.
I know, it's true. But
he knows I'm a cat girl.
We'll see. We're gonna have to. She is a cat girl. That might come up later.
Yeah.
But mostly I want to talk about how you love dolphins. No. This woman is a actual food architect and has some of the most incredible Michelin star brands and chefs, not to mention your food palette and culinary experience and skills. Set that timer too.
Oh,
Thank God.
Yeah, we gotta set the timer.
Yeah.
We'll never get out of here.
The introduction's going to be 8 minutes long.
That's fine. I'll pour you a glass of wine.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You know what? Maybe we should do this again, but later.
I concur.
Okay. Mm-hmm. We're filming a podcast today. It's about Melissa Santell. We open with an icebreaker always. Mm-hmm. So here's my question to you. You have been in Tampa. You're from here. We're in New York for 10 plus years. Mm-hmm. Finally made it back. What's the one New York food rule you refuse to break, even though you're still in Tampa?
Okay, well, I want to tell you that this is hard, but it's not. Okay, so I was born in Long Island, right? And one thing that was mandatory was a bacon, egg, and cheese goes on a roll, never on a bagel. Oh. And I still, to this day,
yes,
like it must be on a roll. Obviously,
what kind of roll?
Just like a fluffy Kaiser roll, like delicious. It's a different type of bite. It's like texturally easier to eat. Also, like a bagel has that like crunchy exterior, like chewy interior. It's just it's a lot of chew there. So anyway, bacon, egg, and cheese on a roll all day.
Easy answer.
Easy.
Yeah. Also the fact that you are a New Yorker, not a Floridian.
Yeah.
Which makes this even more applicable because I feel like the bread carrier in that world is very important.
Yeah, the vehicle is it's necessary. We need to be specific about it.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Somewhere along the way, at 6 years old, I hear you wanted to be a marine biologist. Mm-hmm. Love for dolphins or some other aquatic.
Yeah.
But then you also said you wanted to be a food writer. Two very different experiences. Mm-hmm. You ended up in Florida, so at least we're close to the water, and all the marine biology things. However, your experience primarily now, food writer, among other things. You also wrote for University of Tampa, and had a little side gig, I hear, for the school newspaper.
Yeah, I'm laughing uncontrollably because
it's
been a second, and to think about all the shit that I burnt. I'm sorry,
yeah,
swear on here.
No, it's fine. We're not.
To think about all the things that I burnt inside of my campus dorm room in a microwave doing that series. So it was called Minute Meals with Melissa, and one of my now very good friends, Alex Rath.
Yes.
Was the one who was filming it with her friends. So we were in the film program together. And I don't know how this came about. Something happened where University of Tampa was launching a new campus channel. And I don't even know if it ever came to fruition to this day.
Doesn't even matter. You guys were having a heyday in your dorm room.
We really did. Like I was making dorm friendly meals. Like think like Kit Kats, but the crunchy element of the Kit Kat was ramen noodles that I was breaking out of packets, dousing in chocolate, and then throwing in the freezer. It was actually really good.
Does this have legs still? I feel like if I was a college student, I would definitely want to watch this on TikTok.
Yeah, perhaps, but unfortunately, I'm old now, so I don't know
We're not making ramen noodle Kit Kats anymore.
No. But yeah, we had a summer house in Florida growing up. So every year we would come down to Melbourne Beach. And that's when I fell in love with dolphins and manatees. Like my dad used to hold my ankles basically over the dock that was at the end of our neighborhood. And I would be like petting manatees that would come up to drink the water out of the water spout. And anyway, the infatuation kind of stayed there. But yes, once upon a time, I did want to go in that direction.
Okay, well, minute meals with Melissa. Then progressed into a lot of other far more sophisticated adventures.
It sure did, yeah.
One of which, you were named Tampa Bay 30 Under 30. And then multiple other awards, by the way. And as your friend, I didn't even know. So amazing congratulations. Which propelled you into working in the city for Newman's. Tell us about that marketing director role and what you learned out of that later you would progress to take into your own stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I always think about Newman's Kitchen as the time in my life where I got this consolidated culinary degree, right? Newman's was a catering events company, and in any given day, we would be catering an event in the New York Public Library, or we would be doing like drop-off catering to Facebook, you know? So we had massive clients that were kind of all over the map, and so it brought us all over the city. And you know, we had our core office on one block of the Lower East Side, and then in the next block, there was a massive commissary kitchen and a tasting room above it. Yeah. So it was like me walking into the kitchen every morning. We all met, grabbed coffee. They'd be packing up orders that were going out for the day. And then there were chefs just doing recipe development, cooking, running around using Paco jets to make gelato in 3 minutes. And it was just, that was like truly where I learned everything about food, and just like from a different intimate perspective and how chefs thought about it, because I was having really meaningful conversations about it at that time.
What an amazing like foundation then to be able to build on. Were there things that you experienced there that you thought, I never want to do this for myself though?
Oh, for sure. Like the cooking piece of it, absolutely not. You know, I grew up working in restaurants, and I think everyone should work in a restaurant at some point in their life.
We say this here all the time.
Yeah.
These are life skills.
For sure.
Yeah.
And it just teaches you a different level of humility when you're serving someone. Like you have to be in a hospitable role, right? And just understand not only how to serve someone, but how to speak to someone, how to treat someone, how to anticipate other people's needs. So yeah, I mean, I knew a long time ago that I would never want to be a chef. Just knowing like the lifestyle that comes with it oftentimes. And, you know, you have to have a lot of grit to be a chef, long hours, all the things.
Yeah, I mean, it's a whole lifestyle. It's not just a skill, right? So you have then gone on to progress into multiple other areas, but I like that you've always continued to carry like the marketing thread throughout it, because I think that brings a really interesting, unique approach, right? Because most people just show up to eat, or they think somebody's cooking it. I don't think a lot of people really understand and unpack like the marketing and the thought and the strategery behind a lot of it, especially now with such a visual world that we live in. I mean, food porn is real. Food photography is real. Like, that is how you make the decision of where you want to go eat and how you want to experience things. How has that over time, like the marketing side, changed your perspective of the industry?
I think it's definitely been a key differentiator for me now as a food photographer. I'm able to step into a restaurant, and my parents and I have owned restaurants. I've worked in many roles in restaurants. I've worked in different kitchens alongside chefs. So it's not only the marketing piece, but it's just like all of the institutional knowledge and actual hands-on experience I have that I'm able to deliver today in any photo shoot that I'm doing. But for sure, understanding how to tell the story from a marketing and branding perspective is so valuable, right? Because you're not only talking about the food porn and like the sexy visual, the sauce strip and, you know, whatever. You're talking about, hey, what story are we telling around this thing that's then going to get people interested in us and relate to us as a brand?
Yes, you're changing thoughts and minds and behaviors through the ability to capture the story around the food.
Yeah, definitely. And It's funny as you're talking, like you're saying things that I say with clients, right? And like your social media page and the visuals that you're creating for your brand aren't just like, you know, you're not just creating images to post them, to share them. It's like your reputation that you're managing through every single piece of content that you're sharing, and you can control the narrative of your entire brand, right? At any given moment. And so there's so much power in that. And I think because we consume an insane amount of content these days that we forget how valuable and how thoughtful and how intentional you can be around sharing content.
I think it separates like good from great, right? A beautiful photo only goes so far, but the thought process and the strategy behind it really can propel you to the next space.
Yeah, definitely.
I love it. We're just totally off script. I don't care.
It's fine.
You've talked about squirreling money away in your past, having gone from Newman's and then nonprofit, agency. Like you had multiple other experiences working for others and then ultimately decided, I think I can do this for myself. I've heard you say you wanted to retain at least 80% of your bills before refusing to quit your 9-to-5. What inspired that? Where did you go from there? Because, you know, there's the practice and then there's the theory. So when did you rip the bandaid off and what was that experience like?
Oof. Well, I think at the time I was young enough and just dumb enough.
Yes.
To say, okay, well, if I can get this client that's going to cover my monthly bills, then I know and that I'll take the risk, and I have enough faith in myself that I can make this work. Yeah. And, you know, I had saved up a bunch of money, right? I mean, as one does before they just like jump off the cliff. Yeah. They were like, bye, 9-to-5. Yeah, for sure. I was definitely strategic and thoughtful about it. But again, just like young enough to be like, oh, I can do this. And who cares if it doesn't work out, you know? I think if I was to try to make that jump again right now in my life, I would feel so differently about it. But yeah, I think it was just like, I believed I could do it and I did.
Yeah, there's like beauty in the naivete, right? Because had you have known what you were about to experience, because you've had your own FoodxFeels now for how long?
9 years this year.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
And it has brought you into rooms and brands and businesses like Michelin star chefs and restaurants. Talk to us about the translation then of representing some of these Michelin star coming out of like catering and mass production food world. What was that translation like, and how have you like been able to harness your storytelling?
Well, I think, you know, my storytelling and how I approach photography has changed so much from my Newman's Kitchen days until now. Right. You know, just like how we're really strategic in the marketing segment of our lives, I have definitely grown like eons and eons above in the photography and creative storytelling space. So I think what has mainly changed is my confidence to walk into a space and say, hey, talk to me about what story that you want to tell. Tell me about why you started your brand. What's your passion behind this dish? You know, what do you want people to know about you? And then I'm helping them kind of convey that through visuals and through words, right? Because a lot of times, you know, you walk into a conversation with a chef and chefs are passionate, you know, chefs have a strong point of view.
Fiery, maybe, if you will.
Yeah, they're like spicy. Yeah. Which always keeps things interesting, right? Like they're just like strong personalities.
Yeah.
But distilling that passion into visuals and into words isn't always their forte, right? And so am I answering the question?
You have to be the translator is the point.
Yeah. So I think I love that role. I love stepping into it. And I think that, you know, just like when you're having a meeting with someone, it's an energy exchange that you feel and you're like, oh, I can trust this person to translate this message for me.
I'm super curious to know because Tampa has changed a lot. The food scene here has changed a lot. I feel like now more than ever, you're able to bring your level of sophistication and strategy to some of the new and emerging brands that we've got in this town, thankfully. Thank you so much for your service. With regard to the fiery chef and the art and strategy that you bring with your camera, tell us about a time where the art wasn't translating off the plate. How did you handle, because it's a lot more than just like clicking the lens.
Oh, yeah, it's so much more than clicking the lens. I think a lot of the time people forget, because of iPhones being such a prevalent tool for photography now, that there's so much technicality behind operating a camera and off-camera lighting, right? And usually there's like, if you're on a big production set, there's one person operating a camera, one person operating the computer, one person doing lighting, someone else doing styling. There's so many different components that actually go into composing one image.
How do you tell the chef though, like, this isn't translating?
I mean, you don't tell that, you don't tell anyone that nothing's not translating. What I would say is like, hey, here's an opportunity for us to reposition this. Why don't we move this here and look at it through this lens? And shooting tethered really helps save my life in those situations too, because we can look at the content in real time and move things around. And with my clients, I've definitely built a level of trust where they're like, hey, if you want to move an element around in a dish, whether it's a garnish or shoot from a specific angle, then they're trusting me to do that. So I'm grateful for that.
Yeah. I mean, because you're walking into environments where they are an artist, and a lot of these people have awards and they've got big brands behind them. So all of a sudden being the boss in the room, you know, they're probably not accustomed to. So I think it's super interesting to hear how you navigate that and orchestrate it so that they get what they need, right? It can't always be easy.
Yeah, just like they're the artist on the plate, I'm the artist of reframing things. So that's kind of how that goes.
I love it. You've had a podcast.
I have.
And you're telling people stories between the food and the feels. Why do you think in that world, like in the food world, they're so bad at explaining the feel part?
I don't think that they're bad at it. I think that they don't know how to get from point A to point B. A lot of chefs really want to talk about their food and they're passionate about it. And they know, they're so knowledgeable about the ingredients that are going on the plate and seasonality. It's more so that they just oftentimes need someone else to help convey that and like bring it to the finish line to be consumer facing in a marketing way.
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah.
I want to transition just a little bit because you have said that you're a people pleaser. Recovering.
Yeah.
Recovering people pleaser. Yeah, right? It's a journey. Was there a specific yes that almost broke you that has led to the recovery and your no policy now? Was that a moment or was that a journey?
It was definitely a journey. I think, you know, and you can relate to this too. When you work for yourself, you're constantly like teetering the edge of doing so much where you're so incredibly just like, it's gratifying, right? Like you're feeling like this like element of like fiery success. But then on the other side of it is like, oh, I'm burning out, right? And so I think there's been many times where I've said yes to too much at once. And then I run straight into a wall and I'm like, I can't keep doing this to myself. But I don't think that there's a specific moment. It's more just like, as I've gotten older and as I've been doing this for longer, I start to realize internally how I'm feeling when I'm hitting that wall. And I'm able to kind of, I don't know, rewrite that narrative and pivot to make sure that like, we need to prioritize our mental health too.
Clip that.
Yeah, we need to prioritize it. Because if I'm not, you know, operating at my 100% Melissa energy and my creative element, then I can't give that to my clients. You know what I mean?
Facts. Especially at the speed at which the food business moves.
Right.
Which translates in and out of the kitchen, I feel like.
Yes, definitely.
We know you're Italian. I mean, look at the hair. Gorgeous. And you spent a month in Italy recently. Was there a piece of the culture, like the food culture that you saw in Italy that you felt like America could never?
Oh, this is the easiest question of all time. Italians, they have a way of cherishing every moment of every day. You know, like dolce far niente is the sweetness of doing nothing, and I'm sure you've seen it all over Instagram. It was trending like all last year. Mm-hmm. But it is so true that they know how to move through their day with such an intentional slowness that's really just everything that they do, they're coming together and have a social moment. And usually it's over food and drinks, like aperitivo. It starts 3 p.m. Like you're having an Aperol Spritz, and if you're in Venice, you're having a cicchetti with it, you know, like a little toast point snack. And then you're moving into dinner, and it's just like you're really just leisurely enjoying everything on your own time. Yeah. And you know, like everybody jokes, like Italians are never on time. I'm also never on time. I'm sorry I was late today. 3 minutes, but still.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay.
But their ability to slow down, it's like, it's next level.
Do you feel like any of those experiences helped shape the way that you wrote your cookbook?
Ooh, maybe. I never have thought about that. You know, I wrote the cookbook leading into COVID time. So it was just like my brain was such in a different headspace. But, you know, my cookbook is all categorized by occasions rather than ingredients. So it's like what to make for brunch or date night or, you know, like things to eat when you're wildly hungover. So it's more like, you know, positioning it as like, here, I want you to open this when you're feeling a certain type of way, rather than like, oh, I'm bored and I don't know what to cook tonight. I'm going to open this cookbook for inspiration.
So even when you're thinking about a cookbook, you're still storytelling through the lens of the experience of like, what would bring you to that moment? Mm-hmm. I love it.
Definitely.
Okay. I have about 85 more questions, and we are... Oh, it's going to go off. I'm going to ask it anyway.
No.
Strip away the awards. What would you tell the 6-year-old who was torn between dolphins and dinner plates, knowing what you know now?
I would have said start earlier. I would have said go to a school that had a journalism major instead of just a minor. I think that was probably one of the reasons why I didn't fully go in that direction.
Yeah.
But yeah, start earlier and don't get off the path, you know?
Well, I think you're right on time, but that's
Thanks,
my
girl.
opinion. Okay, we have rapid fire questions for you.
Okay.
You ready? Best bagel in Tampa, and be honest, does it actually pass the NYC test?
I would say tie between homesick bagels and pop-up bagels.
Okay. A culinary trend you wish would stay in the past?
They were putting protein in everything that doesn't have protein. Like, I don't want a protein potato chip. Pass. Yeah.
Okay, I like it. One word a chef would use to describe you on set?
Dynamic.
What is your guilty pleasure meal that would horrify a Michelin star chef? Don't say ramen noodle Kit Kat.
That's not it. Also, I think it would horrify the general public to know that like all the chefs are going home and eating like shit anyway. Yeah, garbage. But I mean, I don't eat a ton of garbage. I feel like my like death row meal is a chicken cutlet and some champagne.
Nice. Keep it simple. What's one piece of advice you would give someone who wants to break into the food industry?
Work in a restaurant. Yeah. 100%. Like, stop watching things on Instagram and just assuming that you know how to make a recipe because you watched someone else make it 64 times.
So good.
Go get the experience. Have a hands-on experience for yourself.
So good. Melissa Santell, foodie extraordinaire, also my dear friend. Thank you for being on with us. This was so fun and exciting. I can't wait to see what you come out with next. Speaking of, what are you doing next? What's next for you?
What am I doing next? No, I mean, this year I've been focusing a lot on food photography, styling, and strategy, but I'm teaching a food photography masterclass next week. So that's what's in the immediate future.
I love it. Yeah. I can't wait to see. Great.
Thanks for having me.
You're so welcome. Thank you for coming, and thank you guys for watching. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and check out our newsletter if you're not already on it. Thanks. See you guys next time.